I found a few trends and facts when it came to Pinterest. Not too many specifically within an educational background, but I'll go through the ones that I did find. So 80% of the users on Pinterest are female, while 20% are male. This was recorded in January 2012, but it also shows change because in March it was found that the male percentage went up to 28. So it's kind of good that I suppose more people, more males, are using Pinterest. So it's not just a female-dominated place. The significant age group of people that are using Pinterest at the moment is in between 25 and 54. Within the amount of unique visitors to Pinterest, like daily, recorded in March, was 4 million. So that's in that one daily average. The average amount of time spent on Pinterest per user is around 14 minutes, so that's engaging people for a quarter of an hour, so that's still a long time spent on one website. The dedicated pinner on Pinterest, I'll just find the graph, has an average of 2,677 pins, 34 boards, and has 320 following. How they most spend their time is 84% of the time people are pinning or even repinning, so that's from sites and from actual Pinterest website itself. 14.9% people are liking, so that's when they actually show an interest in a pin but not repinning it. And then a very small 0.7% people are actually commenting, so that's the interaction, so that's really, really quite low. So that shows that the main social interaction on Pinterest is the sharing of ideas, and the repinning is also kind of that social sharing aspect rather than actually commenting on a pin and showing opinion. The top categories pinned, they were home decor. There was other, but not really sure how to categorize that. Art and design was the next top one. So being, I suppose, second and third, art, visual background, that seems to appeal to me. If majority of categories that are on that site are relating to art and design, that helps me out a whole lot, which is also a big reason why I chose Pinterest as well. There were a few issues to consider about using Pinterest. The biggest one within an educational point of view is the privacy. Within Pinterest, everything is made public. So every pin that you make, every board, every comment, so every movement that you make on the site is public for every other person to see. So whether they're a user or they're just visiting and having a look at the different information there, they can see what you have pinned and what you have commented on. So nothing is actually kept private. For example, if you wanted to make a specific little group for a research project in class, you can't make that private. It has to be seen by everybody. So that is a little bit of a drawback at this stage, how you can't actually have your private groups. The communication was a big one. If only 0.7% of the time is spent commenting, as I said before, majority of the social sharing is pinning and looking and seeing what other people have made and actually sharing and inspiring ideas. A frustration with Pinterest is when you go to pin a different site to a Pinterest board, it has to have an image connected to it, which is the whole reason what Pinterest is about, is image based. So if the site is a document of text, if it has no image to grab onto, it will not pin it. So a drawback, but also the creation of Pinterest is based on images, so it needs that aspect. Once again, doesn't hold me back. Being a visual arts teacher, I don't mind this. Some of the sites do not pin because of the copyright issues. There was an issue with Pinterest. Classic example, photographers' work was being put on there. I suppose it's kind of advertising for them as well, but it was being repinned, and the photographer felt like they weren't getting anything for their work, that their work was copyright and they didn't wish for it to be shared this way. Other people have felt the same way and have kicked up a bit of a fuss about it. So Pinterest has changed their copyright agreement, and also they have given, I think it's a code to stop websites from being blocked. So if, for example, I had a website and I didn't want it to be pinned at all, I can actually create that block so that none of my content is copyrighted and put onto Pinterest. Also, a big issue within the classroom, Pinterest needs to be introduced in a specific way. So, for example, you need to talk them through it, how they're going to use it, and appropriately as well. It's mainly a research-based site, so what they're finding, and it's sharing and gathering and an inspiration for ideas. I wouldn't probably do a whole project on here. It's just resource gathering in one place.